How to solve construction problems. In this video, I'm going to take you through the absolute best way to solve problems with your team. We're going to discuss who should be there and a solid approach that you can use in any framework with any problem, so stay with us. All right, so one of the things that I want to discuss with you today is the IDS pattern. That's identify, discuss, and solve. Yes, I've talked to you about it before, but let me tell you just a little bit of a story. So we at Lean Takt do Takt and CPM and general Last Planner and Scrum scheduling and consulting, project support, project controls, the whole nine. Like, we really help our clients take it to the next level when it comes to flow, not only with the plan, but also in the field. So one time I traveled to Germany to visit Janos Louis and Marco Binniger with the Takt implementation that they had done. It was quite fantastic. And so I remember Marco showing me Takt control boards. These were boards that were meant to track key performance indicators and basically visualize the Takt production system on the boards and create flow in the field. Ever since that day, I've been like really jamming and trying to figure out how can we create these boards in the United States with the systems that we use. And I thought about this for years, and it wasn't coming and it wasn't coming. We know what Takt Steering Control is. We know the 6 key categories. We know how it works. You see it every time in the simulation, but what could help us design the boards? And it wasn't until I read the book Traction by Gino Wickman where I learned about IDS, and Lauren Atwell from Petticoat Schmidt, a highly successful company, really showcased how that system works. So IDS, identify, discuss, and solve. So I was thinking about when you're working with foremen, there's this really neat pattern that emerged of build the team first, know who is on the team, what their roles are, what their meeting structure is, when they're going to solve problems, and who has coverage. That's board number 1. And we sell these, by the way. Then board number 2 was identify. So we put the floor plans, the elevations, we put the logistics map and the delivery schedule and a number of visuals together. And on the top of it, we said identify. And we put things on there like handoffs, new scopes, roadblocks, constraints, distance problems, bottlenecks. We literally listed, hey, if you're a trade partner on this board, I really want you to just showcase where you're having problems. And you can even mark where your crew is, how you're flowing through the building. It's just a visual board. And then what we want to do is identify all the problems. And what we teach foremen is problems are not a problem. Like, literally just let's raise all the problems to the surface and deal with them together. Then the third board that we made was a board that dealt with our weekly work plan and our day plan from a scheduling standpoint. And this was the discuss board, meaning we know our problems. Let's discuss our plan for the week. Let's discuss our plan for the day, okay? And really like come up with solutions and a plan here. And then our fourth board, these sound like a lot, but they're really beautiful. They're really elegant. They fit in the trailer. Our fourth one was solve. So we wrote down our problems and our solutions. And then if any problem was too large for the on-site team of supers and foremen, it would go onto the Scrum board for the project management team, for the project manager and the project engineers and any of the construction administration folks, okay? Team meeting at the right cadence first, identify, discuss, and solve. So the idea was, and the reason I'm telling you this story is, if you have the right meeting system and interactions, which is key for any job, and then you have a way to visualize your problems by tracking real metrics, and then you literally have a place to make a plan where you can discuss solutions, and then you write down your solutions for each of the problems, actionable assignments that everybody in the room can take. You followed your IDS method in a highly visible way. And the reason I decided to tell you this story is because it's easy to say IDS. Identify, oh yeah, there's a problem. Discuss it, oh, talk to somebody. And solve it, I think I got a solution. No. It's much more than that. Get the right people in the right rooms, in the right meeting cadence, get the right visual to see the problems according to production theory, discuss them and loop that into a plan. Don't just like think of it on your own and say, here's the solution. And then solve the scaled communication of the solution to the entire project team so that they can be on the same page. So that's what I'm hoping that you get out of this. And now with these boards, we literally put them up on our boot camps, on projects with our clients, and it's a pretty neat thing. We have the right meeting cadence, we have the problems written on the board and they're highlighted in red, and then we discuss them and solve them. It's a great opportunity for the project team, and it's amazing because it prevents stops and restarts. It creates flow for the field. The trade partners love it, and this is the new way that we do business with clients to create flow and to actually get job sites to finish on time, and it's working. So that's the same method that you can use with your project teams, but I want to give you a little bit of a pattern within that discussing and solving part so that you can be successful. But just remember, IDS, identify, discuss, solve. In the rest of this video, I'm going to discuss the DPR problem solving method. You'll see in every DPR office, main office, or job site trailer, they will have this sign that talks about the problem solving approach. I've learned to love it. I've used it for a long time. They obviously advertise it because they want to be the most admired by 2030. So I have no problems mentioning it here and attributing it to them. So let's go through these one by one. Number one, define the problem. This is huge because a lot of times we are providing solutions to things that don't have problems, meaning we're solutionizing and we don't even know what problem we're trying to fix. When I talk to clients, I ask, what's the problem? When we are dealing with job sites, I'm like, what is the biggest problem that you're dealing with? Hey, we need to go do this thing. Okay, what is the problem that it is tied to? I have gotten in that habit because I've wasted a lot of time providing solutions to problems that didn't exist. And here's the other thing, and I don't mean this to be insulting, but so many people in the construction industry are just weighing in for the purpose of weighing in. I have an idea, I have an idea, I have an idea, I have an idea, but it's never anchored to what is the problem we're actually trying to solve. So if you have an hour to solve a problem, you may spend the first 30 or 40 minutes defining what the problem is. Otherwise, you could be heading in the complete wrong direction. Number two, plan the approach. And I always like to, with this system, appoint a leader and gather information. You're going to gather data. You're going to gather feedback. You're going to listen to the room. You're going to do brainstorming, right? You're going to get that information. And then with the team, you're going to make a plan. Now, I remember this YouTube clip that I love, and everybody loves Jocko Willink and everybody loves extreme ownership, so I'm going to do some name dropping here. He said, a leader will not go say, oh, hey, here's a problem. Here's what we're going to do, and tell his or her guys and gals. A great leader, he said, will say, okay, this is the problem. This is the expected outcome. Then go gather the group or the unit or the team and say, what are we going to do to solve it together? Get the input and the buy-in, right? Make a plan and then communicate it to the group and go together. That's how real leaders lead. And then everyone has extreme ownership. Number three, resolve the issue. If you have implemented countermeasures or you've executed your plan, hopefully the problem, as it ties to construction, is now solved. Which leads into item number four, which is verify the results. You're going to be looking at the results that you got, making sure they're up to the quality standards, looking at any indicators, any measurements, validating with a third party, or asking stakeholders or the people boots on the ground, did this solution work? And if it needs to be used again, is it repeatable? Number five, this is often forgotten. Document the outcomes and make sure that it is clearly written down what you did to fix this problem, the successes, the challenges, the insights gained, basically what did we learn from this, so that we can, number six, share across the organization. And this is where we get into the Paul Akers style, where we do before and after videos or we share solutions so that other people who will have similar problems can learn from it. I love and want to shout out one of my homies, Lauren Atwell at Petticoat Schmidt, every morning. And he has multiple job sites, 230 craft, I believe, somewhere around that, on a meeting every morning at 7 o'clock. And they share lessons learned. If this job's going to have it, this other job will likely have it. And we need to share and save people time. Just like we're trying to save people time with these videos, and that's why I always ask you to like and subscribe, because we want you to have them. And the sharing that I just talked about is a lot like how we share on these videos. So I hope you've enjoyed that. One of the things that I want to invite you to do as we leave this video is, in the description below, I will give you my contact information and a summary of the IDS method. And if you ever want to see those Takt control boards or this method, please reach out. We'll link you to the content. A shout out to DPR for this problem solving method. I believe in it. Everything in business, in lean, and in life comes down to identify, discuss, solve. Problems are not a problem. The only problem is when we don't think we have problems, we don't identify them, we don't discuss them, and then we don't solve them, and then we deal with the consequences. On we go.